Welcome back, guys, to CWRL's World War Wall here at Wall Speedway, and we're going to be setting up the next pairing here, where we have the Rainbow Warriors taking on the Candymen. Appreciate you all sticking with us as we segment this event, as it is easier to segment the event than to hold it all as a whole, and gives me a few moments to catch my own breath, take a breather, get a break, get a drink. It gives you all a brief moment to breathe and catch up as well. So I'm going to set up the Candymen. Will the Candymen do it today? They've had some good performances, but they're in risk of dropping out of the top 4 in points, and if they do that, then they're going to have to be part of traffic jam qualifying, which only gives a team a 4 out of 10 chance to be in the main event. And those are not good odds to qualify when the odds are not in your favor and you have to worry about making the show like that. That just makes all of these points that you get at the event so much more precious. And that's why CWRL is so unpredictable, wild, and interesting to watch, even if the teams are comprised of AI drivers. Those drivers are set to be as aggressive as they possibly can in the best possible equipment for the checkers and wreckers anyway, with the traffic jammers running in inferior equipment designed to help them be lapped easier by the leaders and to boost point scores when necessary. That being said, we are now within the final match of round 1, where the Candymen will be taking on the Rainbow Warriors. Fingers crossed that we can get through randomized qualifying without any incident, as it seemed to take quite a bit of time last time. And once again, the checkers and wreckers cars are not performing up to snuff. It feels like all these traffic jammer cars are suited for this speedway, despite the fact that they are in completely inferior cars. We'll try the reset method one more time. These difficulties are not how I want to extend the length of my show. I apologize to you fans of CWRL. Once again, we are still new, getting used to everything here. Setting up everything for a racing league was surprisingly more complex than I thought it would be, but at the same time, when you get it all running and set up, watching the fruits of your labor are actually quite enjoyable. That being said, we got a lineup that we can work with this time, as we need the checker and wrecker cars starting in the top 4. If they can hold the top 4, that's on them, but they need to start in the top 4 in front of these traffic jammers here, as per CWRL regulation. So we got the wrecker car for the Rainbow Warriors on point, starting on pole, with the checker car for the Candymen on the outside pole there. Now, unfortunately, starting in the back here has not worked well for these checkers or wrecker cars, even starting back and forth, as it seems that one of those cars likes to fall back into the back of the pack and subject themselves to being lapped. So let's see how this final heat race of round 1 goes for CWRL's World War Wall. See that checker car on the outside pole there, and the wrecker car in third. And we got green flag for the final heat race of round 1. So far, the Rainbow Warriors showing the way as we complete this first lap quickly here. But that wrecker car is actually in second place, not too far back behind him. And you can see that the checker car here for the Candymen has just dropped back to third, working on his teammate here for that second spot. He's going to want to chase down that leader, score as many points as he can, so he can go into the next round against the King's Court, not having a 36-point gap between them, as you carry any points that you get into the next round. So we have just seen the checkers car take the second spot from the wrecker car of the Candymen. Meanwhile, we got a traffic jammer here gumming up the works, running in fourth, keeping up pace once again with the leader, and it goes to tell you one of the cars is not performing up to snuff once again, and that would be the checkers car here for the Rainbow Warriors. This doesn't bode well for them, as they were hoping for a good points day to get themselves back into at least the top 8. They just dropped into 9th spot in the points as of last week, with 48 points, right behind the Legion of Supermen. And unless they start lapping cars, they're not going to start making any point gains, and they're just going to keep falling behind to the leaders here. Meanwhile, you got a traffic jammer still in 4th position. You got 2 Candyman cars, the checker and the wrecker car, in 2nd and 3rd respectively, and leading the way, the wrecker car for the Rainbow Warriors, setting a nice blistering pace, but it's not doing them any good, as their checker car is far back in the pack, and if that checker car winds up falling down a lap to the leader, that is 15 championship points for every lap a checker car is down to their counterpart. Now, we've completed almost 14 laps now we're working on, and once again, no one is scoring points from leading laps, as the wrecker car for the Rainbow Warriors is showing the way there in that blue Pepsi Chevy Camaro. Meanwhile, in the Supra behind him, you got the Candymen there, still trying to close the gap. Checkers car trying to catch up to the leader and make a pass. Now, in the last round, the King's Court was able to, at the last minute, pull off a near last lap pass for the victory, getting 25 victory points. Now, that can make up a little bit for not leading all of these laps, and it can give you something going into round 2, but at the same time, you're going to want to lead laps as a checker car, get out, take that lead, and get all the points you can to have as good of an advantage, or to minimize the advantage an opponent already has on you going into the next round or even the finals. You carry all of these points with you throughout the entire event, and whatever you wind up with at the end is the amount of points you wind up scoring for the championship season at the event. So far, the checkers car still trying to gain ground on the leader, but as you can see, his partner in crime, the wrecker car, not too far behind him, but they are close on the leader, looking like they're about to make a move. You can see that checkers car looking hungry for the lead right now, as he is side by side with the Rainbow Warriors wrecker car, has completed the pass and is going into the turn here, as we are starting to come on traffic jammers. So now the checkers car for the Candymen is going to be able to start scoring points for every lap he leads, and then now for 3 points for putting this car a lap down. Meanwhile, the checkers car for the Intimidators is a little over a half a lap down. I think I just saw him right at the very end of my shot. Yeah, looks like he is leading that pack in 7th place here. So there are 2 cars, 3 cars between him and the leader right now, as the checkers car for the Rainbow Warriors is working on this traffic jammer for position. 6th position on the track. The Rainbow Warriors are not performing up to snuff. Meanwhile, we have another battle for the lead as the wrecker's car for the Rainbow Warriors has taken that spot back. And now they're going to want to play defense and keep the Candymen from scoring any more points. Meanwhile, it just keeps getting worse for the checkers car here for the Candymen as the wrecker's car is working on that second spot here, taking it away from him. Hopefully, he's going to be able to make the crossover move and work into the turn as he is forced in that high groove. And just like that, you can go from scoring points and being the leader to being back in third. Nevertheless, the points gap has been established now between the Candymen and the Rainbow Warriors. So, even if the Candymen do not score as many points as they would like coming out of this event, then at least they are going to be able to say that they have some points to come out with, that they led some laps. But he is now in second place as the Rainbow Warriors suddenly drop back to third while I'm talking about all this. And now the checkers car is hoping to get back into that front position, hoping to overtake his counterpart, the wrecker car, for his team, and start scoring those points once again. Unfortunately, the wrecker's car here for the Rainbow Warriors working on him once again, putting him back into the third position as the wrecker's car for the Candymen continue to show the way here in this heat. And we have 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the final heat of round 1. Candymen trying to maintain their small points advantage right now, as they have led a few laps over the Rainbow Warriors in their checkers car. And that checkers car is trying to get second place back here from his teammate. And he's really trying to work hard for it. He completes the pass. Now trying to work on that leader, get back up front. If he can finish out the heat in first, that's 25 victory points that he could use going into the next round. So far, the King's Court will go into that round with 36 points scored. And you can see that he is close on the leader right now. Working the inside, he got a sniff of it. And he's going to complete this pass here on the backstretch. But will the wrecker car pull the crossover move as he gets a run up high? It looks like he's going to be caught up with the wrecker car, who completes the pass, dropping him once again back to third. And now, once again, the Candymen, with 1 minute and 20 seconds, are scoring points with the checkers car as the race leader, completing yet another lap. We are on lap 48 right now. They're probably going to be able to get away with at least a solid 10 or 15 points for leading laps here today in this heat race. The Candymen looking like they're going to be coming out of this and moving into the next round against the King's Court. As to how many points they have, that's an entirely different story, but it looks like he has just lost the lead here with 30 seconds remaining to his partner, the wrecker car. He's going to want to get those points. Those are valuable points for leading at the end of the heat. That's 25 points. And you can see he is working his way back over for the lead, fighting hard to secure this one. We are 15 seconds remaining. It is going to be 2 to go at the line here. We work into turns 3 and 4 one more time. The Candymen. Can the Candymen pull this off and defeat the Rainbow Warriors advance to the next round to face the King's Court. It looks like they are going to do it. The Candymen win the heat race of round 1. And so far as the lineup looks established, no traffic has been lapped, but it looked like they were close to scoring 3 points there. So there will be no points in this round for either the Rainbow Warriors or the Candymen for lapping traffic jammers here. In the meantime, we can see how many laps were scored by the Candymen, as they were actually able to get out front and score points here for leading laps, and not to mention those 25 points for winning the heat. So the Candymen scored 15 points with the laps that they led, plus 25 points for a total of 40 points going into the next round against the King's Court, giving them a slight advantage over the King's Court. 4 points, it's not much, but anything counts at this point right now. But that is still a far better performance than Hello Newman, who scored 0 points for the win, only advancing because of the tiebreaker condition that the winning team of the heat race, regardless of the driver, advances if there is a tie or both teams score 0 points, which is still a tie. Meanwhile, the Rainbow Warriors are sent home with nothing. No cars were lapped, they didn't score from those opportunities, and they were not able to lead any laps. So, unlike the Bushwhackers, who were able to go home with an overall 28 points after their total was doubled, the Rainbow Warriors will go home with 20 like the Intimidators and Chasing the Elliots did, and all of the teams that did not qualify. When you perform bad and you don't score, we don't reward you that much, and especially when we get into the second round. So, having added 20 points to their total, we will now set up the first match of round 2, where we have Hello Newman taking on Boogity Boogity Racing. Boogity Boogity Racing has an 82-point advantage over Hello Newman. So Hello Newman's team has their work cut out for them right now. But stay tuned We will have all of that set up for you in just a moment. Thank you for watching CWRL.